Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. All right. Hey, did you guys miss me last week? Nice needed break. Well, so I'm glad to be back. And I got something good for everybody. So this has been going around. I didn't know it was I should have known it was gonna catch some kind of steam around the internet spaces about the brothers who going to the NFL draft. Same thing for the NBA draft, with the white women on their arms. And of course, guess what? Umar kind of coined the phrase snow bunny. And I was talking to my wife. And I said, well, they call the white girls snow bunnies. I don't know how long we're going to be able to get away with that. It is kind of derogatory, even though it's kind of sweet because snow bunnies are nice and fluffy and white. And, yeah, we kind of idolize them at Easter time while they running around and shit on commercials and stuff like that. But so shout out to Dr. Umar with his snow bunnies. So I know I start early, so we got to see who is in the chat, and who's getting ready to hang out with us for the night. And that'll be something that I'd like to say hello to see who's out there. So I'm fooling around with this stuff right now, so bear with me. All right, good. Black Man Unfiltered, you around. I see you all over the place. I saw Embrace the Grace. All right. Hey, how you doing? Embrace the Grace. See you there. And, of course, Black David. I had a couple of guys said they were going to come over. Let's see what they want to do. Said chat rules. 1, respect the host. Yeah, there you go, man. Respect the host. I like that. And we're going to stay on topic tonight because I think this one shouldn't be that volatile. I think everybody who has some kind of opinion, about the situation, I want to hear it. I really do. So we can keep it cordial because I'm not hard over one way or the other, except, we'll get to it. So I want to step through this the way I have this thing set up. I want people to kind of understand where we're going to go with this today. Just bear with me for a second. And I'm trying to do something here. Okay. All right. Hold on. The what? Did I hear anybody say? Oh, yeah, that was me. All right. Just want to bear with me for a second. Yeah, I know we want to let some people get in because I know it takes some time for folks to come in 7 o'clock. I know all you guys out there still working, rushing home from work and all that kind of good stuff. And so let's get the ball rolling. I guess people show up and they'll catch up. They know what we're talking about tonight. So like I said, I wanted to say my hello back. I'm glad I'm back on BMU's network. And okay, so I got four clips tonight, right? The very first clip when we get to it is going to be Dr. Umar and how he feels about the brothers choosing to go with the snow bunnies. The second clip is the creator, this content creator who talks about redlining and that impact and how that led into black men wanting to divest from sisters once they were able to do so. And she just gaslights the hell out of the brothers. So, but it's worth the squeeze because I like her explanation of how redlining was impactful just on its own merit. But I think she's wrong about why, brothers are leaving the community for white women. All right. The third clip is a brother on TikTok. Now, this brother on TikTok, I think it went viral. As a matter of fact, I think he went on some mainstream media outlets about why the brothers are choosing white women in college. And I know this one got a lot of sisters miffed, even though I believe, whether he knows these guys or not, what he's saying is absolutely, has some modicum of truth in it. A matter of fact, a lot of modicum of truth. And so from that standpoint, it's worth discussing. And the fourth clip, of course, anybody who's familiar with Medium Man on these YouTube streets. He's Mr. Stats. And he brings out the stats with 3, 4 different kind of references that shows you that this notion that black men prefer snow bunnies over black women is an absolute falsity and really holds no water. And the sisters just need something to gripe and argue about. So, so there you go. So some questions arise. And let me see who we got coming in, man. Anybody coming in yet? All right. So it's all right. So we're going to just keep going. You know, I got a question for folks out there. You know, who's at fault? Or is there any fault at all from why white women are on the arms of our professional athletes during draft day? Who's at fault for that? Okay, so there's a couple of questions that we'll probably come back to later on in this discussion. You know, or is there any fault at all? I mean, could this just be natural selection? You know, what else is it? What do the white women have that the black ones don't, that make the brothers cleave to them so early in their formative years coming out of college, right? That's something we got to talk about, right? So that's one. There's another question. Is proximity a factor? We kind of broached this subject on another podcast here on Black Man Unfiltered Network, that proximity may have a lot to do with the fact that, you know, in these PWIs, the white institutions, predominantly white institutions, you know, there's not as many sisters. So, you know, white women dominate. But I kind of, you know, that sounds good, but it's not necessarily the whole truth of the matter, right? Proximity does matter. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. If you are living in Minnesota and it's like 2 or 3 sisters out there, you're going to cleave to a white woman. There's just no doubt about it. You will. The more important thing is she's going to seek you out when there's plenty of white men for her to seek out. But, you know, a lot of women like black men. And let's not get that twisted, especially if you got some shit going for you. But anyway, just to get back to the point, when I went to college in 1976 to 1980, umpty frat, there was no shortage of black women in college. And I went to a PWI. And the reason why I know this is because we used to have parties all the time. As a Omega man, we had parties and the place would be packed wall to wall with some of the finest sisters you'll ever want to see. So, and that was in the 70s. That was before Black Girl Magic. That was before, you know, women were the most enrolled and all of that kind of stuff. So the whole notion that there's not enough black women to go around to be on the arm of a football player or a basketball player, it's kind of horseshit, right? Because black women are almost everywhere, right? So so let's kind of dispel that myth, even though there's some modicum of truth to PWIs and proximity and stuff like that, but it doesn't tell the whole story. It doesn't even tell half of it. Okay. Now, are black women gaslighting and projecting that brothers want white women over them, especially when they get successful? Well, Media Man is going to dispel that myth, but it's really gaslighting. And the most important thing is that black women actually are projecting that black men don't want black women, when the opposite is absolutely true. And not what I shouldn't say absolutely true. Black women are more proud to have a zaddy on their arm than black men are to have a white woman on his arm, right? And the reason why we know that is because we see how black women react to every sister who has a white zaddy on her arm. They pretty much praise her. They kind of bow down and say, "You go, girl. You know, we're with you," and all that other kind of horse shit, right? They don't call them divestors. They don't act like they hate them. You know, none of that stuff, right? So, you know, so that's one of the things. So this is the kind of thing we could talk about, you know. So then that brings me to Dr. Umar Johnson. All right. that brings me to Umar Johnson. So, Black David, Stevie N, if you're out there, you could play that first clip of from the first link, and it'll be Dr. Umar Johnson talking. Well, I don't know. Okay. Is that the beginning? You got to go from the beginning. Or is that the first clip? Yeah. You got to start from the beginning. You got to start from the beginning. Oh, all right. Now we got a commercial. Can't hear it. We can't hear it. We can't hear it. Something wrong with the sound? Black David, we can't hear it. Unless everybody else can hear it. I can't hear it.
You can't hear it at all?
No, not at all.
That's strange. I was able to hear it on my end.
Anybody else? Can y'all
Let me try
hear
it
it?
again. Hold on. Let me stop it. Let me share it again. Uh,
If you started from the beginning, it
I'll
should
try
just
it
play.
again. You can't hear it?
Nah, not at all. I don't know what's going
That's
on.
weird. Hold on. That's weird. Give me a second.
Hey, can you
I'm not
guys
sure
hear
why
it
you're not able to
in the
hear it.
chat? In the chat, can you hear it? I'm asking the chat. Can you guys hear what's going on out there? They can hear it. They
Ask them,
can
can
hear
they
it.
hear or not?
I can't hear it.
I'll try another way around. They can hear
Well, how
it?
come I'm trying to say, how come I can't
Hold
hear
on.
it?
Let me try something different. It could be your PC. You need to upgrade your PC then.
Nah, man. You know what? I mean, why would my PC not let me
Could be
hear it? I can hear you,
a second.
but you know what? You
Trying to
could
see I
play
can get
it,
it
and
loaded
I
in
can
another
go to my other
browser because I
channel and
don't
listen.
know why you cannot hear it. And anyone in the chat room, can y'all hear the video? Let me know right now.
All right, let me see. I don't know why it wouldn't let me hear it. Okay, hold on for a
You can't hear
second.
it, right?
I'm going to me go to.
Okay, that's strange.
Yeah,
Give me a second. I'm gonna try it
so
a different way.
wait a minute, camera. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on. Sabotaging me.
Um, I got kicked out. I don't know
Um,
how it happened.
so is any if can I play it? Can you transfer it to me? Let me play it. Or what?
Try to get a different way this time. I don't know what's going on with the network. I think something going with StreamYard that it's kicking me out for no apparent reason. I'll try another way right now
Okay.
for the technical difficulties. So let me get back to business. So give me a second. Let me get it back over here. Let's try it again.
He takes his education, he takes his financial opportunities, he
Good. I
takes
got
his
it.
checkbook with him. Honest, that marriage at its very foundation is a financial relationship. Anyone who doesn't believe that only need go to divorce court and see how many people are arguing over the love that they gave the other person during the marriage. At the woman's hand in marriage, you're taking from a people who don't have enough, and you're taking it to another people who have already stolen so much. And what makes it even more insulting is the opportunities that put you in that economic position to be able to get married and take care of a family came from Black people who died, who suffered, who struggled, who sacrificed for us to be in this position today. And for me to take my education and my income over to the white woman when there's so many Black women who need it cannot be interpreted as anything other than economic betrayal.
Hi everyone. So
Yeah,
we're
you
back
can
for another
stop it there.
video,
You can
and
stop it there.
let
You can stop it there. I know. So people, yeah, I guess people got the gist of what Umar Johnson was saying. So I got a couple of questions, and I don't think anybody who wants to come up and talk about it, we can talk about. We can bring them up now if they want to come up. And so, hello to the
I'm
chat,
here to talk with
Andre.
you if you
Can
want.
you send a message? Huh? Say what?
I'm here with you, so I'll help you out. I'm here with you. I'll help you out.
All right, so that's cool. But yeah, anybody else who wants to come up, Easy Money, if you want to come up, you want to talk about this, great. Trey Taylor, I saw him in there. Anybody wants to come up? Because I have some questions about Umar Johnson and what he said. And essentially, of course, you know where he stands. Everybody heard him more than once before. You know, his position is clear, right? Is he correct? You know, are Black men obligated to, and you could take this down, or well, you could take it down for now, I guess, and or leave it, because well, whatever. You know, so is he correct? Is Umar Johnson correct? Are Black men, you know, obligated to marry Black women, regardless of whether, you know, they're the best people for them or not? And that's a question, because he says, you know, we're obligated to the community. Doesn't matter whether you can get the kind of woman you want, or she's cooperative, or she respects you, or any of that shit. He just said, hey, make it happen. Does he
According
have
to
the
Take
right to say
Heed,
that?
she
So
said
what?
no. According to Take Heed, she said no.
Yeah, yeah, lady. Oh, here you go, Lady D. She's in here. I wonder what she has to say. You know, there you go. Oh man, you know.
No, here's the problem with Lady D. Lady D, it's like some kind of ignorant troll who have been trolling this platform.
Well, you know what? Wait, hold on.
No,
Before we go
I'm being intelligent right here. I'm saying this right now. We're talking about something that's affecting our Black community as a
there,
whole. The problem with certain people like her, they're too oblivious to the truth of what's really happening.
well, listen.
Now,
Okay, yeah.
I
She's
say this.
entitled to her own opinion, right?
I know
Whatever it is.
she's entitled to her own opinion, but whenever Lost in Translation is here, he quick to lock her down and to shut her up because she doesn't make any sound argument.
Hey, how you doing, daughter? No.
That's one problem. Number two, she doesn't have a man. Number three, her man is her toy with battery power. Number four, she needs to upgrade her man to get a full electrical one. Number five, she doesn't have any common sense. Number six, there's no store that will sell her common sense.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Forget about her. That's like a ripped up. I mean, because the bottom line is, I don't believe a man is obligated to marry a Black woman for the community. I don't believe that at all. Right. So that's the first one. The second one really is, you know, does does anybody like Umar Johnson or any other blackity black have the right to command that a man marries the person that he wants? It's kind of like the first question. But I mean, what kind of nerve does he have telling anybody to marry and cleave to a woman when he hasn't done it himself? He got
I,
two baby mamas out there. We don't even know. I'm not even sure if they even have his last name. I don't know.
here
You
my
know,
here my opinion about Dr. Umar. He's arguing as if we have a solid community with gatekeepers, but the problem is there ain't no community when you have too many black folk in operating in individualism. When everybody's all about themselves, they're not about community. You can't say black man is responsible for marrying black woman. Other black community, as for example Nigerian, Ghanaian, and many other, have a community. They have gatekeepers. They have leaders. They have structure and order in place. When the elder is speaking, they have to listen. They don't disrupt a elder. If they try to disrupt an elder in plain sight, they get dealt with. But
yeah, but
within the black community in the U.S. here, quote unquote African American, there's no such structure and order in place.
yeah, but
When
I mean, but CBN, this we got all kinds of historical reasons for that.
and, and it's
I
under no,
mean, yeah,
no,
so
it's
so
understandable. No, what you say is totally correct. It's fully under. I'm looking at it as a logical aspect of things.
no, but hold on for a
Yes,
second before you go
yes,
further, right?
okay.
Before you go, because here there was a time when we were forced. This is where, and I'm cutting you off only because here's where the connection goes awry. There was a time when we were forced to stay in our own communities, to stay and fend for ourselves during segregation, where we did have community. We did have elders we respected. We did have all of that. And I think near the end of his life, Martin Luther King started to realize that his push for integration was a little bit too far because he thought that once, that this whole thing about your character would have been enough to change what was going on. And you had Malcolm X on the other side and the Nation of Islam talking about, full segregation. And the answer lies somewhere in between. And we never really got there. And it's
And
something that Africans and every other ethnic group that comes here kind of understands that America is more like a salad bowl, and black people was hoping it would be a melting pot, right?
and
And it's not. It's so people understood how to exist in their own areas and barter with everybody else,
I
right?
get
As
your argument
opposed,
about that.
you know what I'm saying? And so we just thought that it would be better if we could just meld with everybody else, and that's just not happening. And now we know where it's at, right? So even our own community is pretty destroyed, you know. So yeah, easy money. That's right. There's no real structure. So I mean, so you're right though, Black David, about Africa, but your guys still have enough of your traditions left that you can recognize a community one from another, right? That's that shit don't fly that well here. So here's another one, right?
And I
Yeah.
understand that. Look how I'm trying to explain to you. What you're saying totally correct. What happened on this tour for over 400 years have a negative effect against the black people, which I fully understand that and I fully grasp that. The problem is in present time, present generation do not wish to listen to the elder no more. 'Cause if anything, no, I'm not blaming you, but I'm talking about generally speaking.
Yeah, but
I'm
let's
no,
stay on.
I'm just saying generally speaking. When it comes to, let's not repeat the same mistake.
No,
The first
no,
thing that
no.
come out, it has been proven on multiple platforms, including this platform, and it's hard. Some admit it, unless they say unless Gen D or Gen X admit they were wrong, they made a mistake. We're not going to hear anything. But what I learned from my people, look at
Yeah, but
society as a
you
whole.
get the very
Hold on. We look at society as a whole. You gotta look at what caused the nature to be where it is. That's number one. To address the issue, you have to be transparent with oneself. If one cannot be transparent, one is not willing to listen to the other side. That's always been the case when it comes to dealing with the community. The problem with today's youth feel like they know everything. So if you have technology, they don't
Yeah,
feel
but
like that's it.
you're veering off the point, right? The point really
Okay,
is just a little bit, okay? What I'm
okay.
saying is that even after slavery, right, we still built communities when we had to stay together,
Hmm.
right? So all of this division that we have started in the 60s and
Understood.
70s, right? Before, the civil rights bill and the horrible Lyndon Baines Johnson push that said that blacks couldn't exist on equal footing with anybody else. And they started passing these horrible laws that everybody just took for granted that they were doing us a favor. In fact, it was the worst thing that ever happened to us. What should have happened is just throw our asses in the fire and let us sink or swim on our own goddamn merits. We work better that way, both men and women. And he took that away from us by saying we were too dog shit weak to actually stand on our own 2 feet. So I'm gonna put this program in and that program in and all the hooks that broke up the families. Because if I had to struggle with a dude, if I was a woman, I had to struggle with a dude for $10 more a month, but I could get those same benefits without this asshole in the house. I'm gonna pick the benefits without him in the house. And that's what they did. And that was the beginning of the end. And so what I'm saying is, but that's still off the point of where we are. Let's stay where we are. Should black athletes in college, right, be cleaving to sisters and instead of the snow bunnies? And let's talk about why that is. Why are the snow bunnies winning in college and not the black women? Right? So is it proximity? Some of it is proximity. Is it whether the black men don't like sisters? That's not true, because we're going to have some statistics that come up and show that that's not true. Well, is it because the white women compete and they do the kind of things that men want from women and they're willing to do it young and not wait till guys at the finish line? That's another question. That's the kind of debate we should be having. You know,
Coming to the
easy money.
stage,
It was easy money talking about.
coming to the stage,
We
my
don't live in
governor
a we
JT.
do live in a meritocracy, because if you don't believe that, then you don't deserve anything you have, easy money. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? We live in a meritocracy for the people who want to compete. And the people who compete do better than the people who are waiting for handout and making excuses. So, well, what do you mean we don't live in a meritocracy? Bullshit. Of course we do. And the people who don't get the message always lose. So anyway, man, you should bring your ass up here, man, so you could defend your position. So anyhow, but listen, um, okay, so Black David, I'm really not arguing that all the traditions you're talking about, but I just want to kind of stay close to the point, right? We got black men who are cleaving to white women, and one of the things that's a big misnomer is that white women go to college with the thought back of their mind that they're going to be around the best pool of candidates than they ever will be any other time in their life. Because I told my daughters that, whether they didn't pick a husband there, but I said, make sure you have your Rolodex on live. My youngest stays in touch with a lot of her college people. But what I was going to say is that the sisters, and black men for that matter, are being told not to get married while they're young. They're being told to have as much sex as you possibly can while you can in your 20s. And the way they tell them that is enjoy life, travel, do all this shit. That's just a euphemism of getting your black thrown out. That's what that means. And so by the time they finish getting passed around and taking the energy of all these men, then they want somebody in the 30s, a man who doesn't get as much sex in his 30s, to all of a sudden now just want to choose you. And most likely, if you can get out of your 20s without a baby, which is very difficult for 70% of them haven't, now you want somebody to go ahead and pick up the cleaners. And that's what Umar was on the Daily Wrap-Up crew saying the same old bullshit that black men are obligated to take to clean up for the sisters. It's just not true. And it's unfair for somebody to say that, especially if you're a single man on your grind. So let's get to the heart of the matter. So one of the things I think we have to do is somebody has to change the narrative, both men and women, right? Because I wanted my daughters to finish school, but I just said, hey, listen, make sure you meet some folks because these are the new leaders when you're in college. White women don't only go for the football players; they're going for doctors, they're going for engineers, lawyers. They could recognize upperly mobile men when they're in school. And sisters could do the same thing, but they've been told you can only do one thing or another. You can't be professional and have a man. That's not true. So listen, play the second clip because I want you the second clip from the lady, and let's get it right too. It starts at the 5:20 mark. It starts at that next clip starts at the 5:20 mark.
With his Danish girlfriend, Alina Thurgood. And if this was an isolated incident, we wouldn't even have had this conversation. However, Black men have been doing this since racial barriers were lifted from professional sports. Now, the majority of Black people have always stayed in close community with one another due to redlining. In the early 1930s, the federal government created redlining maps for almost every major city in response to the housing shortage. Redlining was primarily designed to provide housing to middle and upper class white families. African Americans and other people of color were left out of the new suburban communities and instead pushed to urban housing projects. And the justification was that if Blacks bought homes in these suburbs, the property value of the homes would drastically decline. No one would want to move to these communities. Therefore, these home loans would be at risk, which is why the majority of housing projects in major cities are almost always grouped in close proximity to one another and near their respective downtown. Black families had two options. Number one, a housing project, or number wasn't until gentrification go a way to go downtown to work these corporate jobs or watch their favorite home sports team was too taxing and not efficient enough, and they wanted to move back to the inner city, which is now causing many Black people who once settled into these different communities in the inner city to be priced out. Gentrification 101. And the reason why all of this is important is because the red line is one of the reasons that Black people have always lived amongst each other. And while it is overly obvious that Black people have grown up in all types of neighborhoods, the majority of the time, the person that you go to church with, stay next to, go to school with will look exactly like you. Now, with this visual in place, tell me the last time you've seen an educated or suburban white woman walking down the block with her low-income African-American boyfriend within the red line. But as soon as these same men touch success, touch notoriety, touch wealth, whether that's an engineer at Google making $350,000 a year or an NFL player signing his rookie contract for $38 million. And as much as they try to push this rhetoric that Black women are gold diggers and that they only want men once they achieve success, show me a collective of white women who are staying down in the paint. These suburban bunnies come out of the woodwork searching for carrots just like anyone else, literally and figuratively. They are not volunteering for struggle love on Slauson Avenue in LA, the Pork and Bean Projects in Miami, Bankhead in Atlanta, Georgia, and Brownsville in Brooklyn. Please show me the droves of suburban white women that cannot wait to settle down with Dusties or live a comfortable life with an average Black man. Come get these Dusties too. You know, don't leave them behind. Round them up as well. Round up the Dusties that society says Black women should settle for and help us out on that end. We would love to
stop it there. You can stop it there. All right, so you hear all the gaslighting. She is absolutely crazy. First of all, in college, right, before the NILs came, and the kids, some of the kids who were in college bound, who became professional football players or basketball players, they couldn't even get butter on biscuits because that was considered a gratuity. And so the fact is that, were they dusty? They had futures. The women when you're in college, you ain't in the finish line. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about college-bound kids waiting to go to the pros. Some are going to make it. Some might last for 10 years. Most won't last more than 4 years. So whatever money they make is not going to last them a lifetime. So this whole notion that, when was the last? Well, of course, no women are looking for dusties other than a lot of black women love dusties. That's why they got a whole bunch of unwed babies out there. So sisters just gaslighting the brothers. Again, I hate to point fingers back and forth because I think that, that doesn't get us anywhere. There's no shortage of black women who make money who don't want to have anything to do with black men, right? There's no shortage of that. So, I mean, let's just, we don't need to do this shit, right? And matter of fact, when a sister has a white man, all the rest of the sisters are like huddling and bowing down and say, "You made it, baby. You made it, sister. You got yourself a white zaddy," and all of a sudden they know how to be feminine. So let's stop the cap. So let's just stop it. It's a big projection, just like the whole shit that all men cheat. That's another projection. Women been cheating better and longer and faster and harder than men ever could. So let's just stop. Let's just move forward. Can we move forward? So let me tell you one of the things that we can get right to the next thing, because everything the sister said, she could actually believe this shit, okay? And a lot of women hear themselves talk and they believe a lot of crazy shit. So what can you really say about that? She's entitled to opinion. Go ahead. Who's that?
JT.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I got a damn cold, bro. So that's why.
Man, go ahead. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, bro. How about yourself?
All right, man. What you taking for
it? Man. If I was the young me, I definitely would have been triggered based off of that you just showed. She was saying name the white woman that'll go into pork and bean, Florida. Really? It shouldn't even be any doggone black women that are successful going in pork and bean, Florida.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, she's gaslighting her ass off. Funny.
Yeah.
Listen, go ahead, say what you're going to say. Because I did like her explanation in general about redlining and how that worked. But when she tried to tie it to everything else. But go ahead, man. Say what you're going to say while your voice is still there.
Yeah, I think it's very important for people to understand the history of redlining, right? I think it is, but that's not where we're just anymore. Not the way that it was. We see, I've lived a part of it. You've lived a part of what redlining was. We've seen it firsthand.
Right.
I've witnessed white flight and all these different things, man. And I've seen how communities had deteriorated, right? And it was not just white people had left. That's not the truth. It's because businesses had left. It's because schools had left. It's because of a lot of things. And it was no more of a community. You just had a bunch of people that was struggling, just like they were. It was white people that were struggling too. But all of the resources had, a lot of the resources that was helping people to get off of some type of welfare. And
one second, JT. Hey, your Red Planet. The link is at the top of the chat, man, on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. So make sure you're on that page. Go ahead, JT.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird how people would just stick to one part. So I understood exactly what she meant by that, but the way that she was having it was like it's still that type of thing, because gentrification is not gentrification like it was in the 70s and in the 80s. It was not. Gentrification does not mean that white people move in and black people move out. No, you got black people that's taking a part of gentrification also at an alarming rate right now. I'm in Detroit, so I can tell you right now, gentrification isn't just white folks. It's a whole different type of people. It's people with money. That's what it is.
That's what it is. It's people with money. That's exactly what it is. That's another thing that she was short-sighted on. When, and this is where I think Martin Luther King got it late. When integration came, which I believe Black people are the only ones who really care about that, Black Americans, not only was everything opened up to the world, our businesses went downhill because they had a captive audience, so they didn't have to be as competitive as they needed to be to stay in business. And when they had their captive audience, and I don't want to blame them because they might not have had the knowledge, they didn't build those coalitions to get their products and get their supply chain and get all the things they needed to run their businesses as a collective, like the Koreans did, and like everybody else did, so they can have cheaper products, so they can be competitive with their prices and their services. And so when integration came, it was just a black flight from almost anything Black.
Yeah.
And I think Martin Luther King didn't anticipate that. He didn't. And I think before he got assassinated, he started to realize, well, maybe I let my people down. The nonviolent path was cool, but this whole kumbaya shit, we're the only ones singing it.
As a matter of fact, he wrote a book on financial literacy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has a book on that. So yeah. A lot of people think that he just was going around talking about I have a dream. No, that man for one, he was a Republican. He was very, very aware. It was just he was late, right? Just like you were saying, he was kind of late on his movements when it came down to it because he looked at civil rights and he just got bogged down into that, right? Because of how we were being treated. It was a lot of alarming. Do you remember when he came from the South and went up north and he was in Chicago or New York or something? He said,
Yeah.
This is way worse than the South. He said, I ain't never seen that like this. So north than it was in the South to him. He's like, damn. Lot that imagine being in your 30s and you have the weight of not only your people, but you got the weight of your nation on your shoulders, and you're just trying to make the right moves because everybody is out here looking at this young man in his late 20s, early 30s. He was doing some things, man. So it's a lot that people don't know. Just like what Easy Money was just saying, stop the cap. White people, what he said, most people benefiting from gentrification of white people. Where did I say the cap at?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Like I said, not only Easy Money control. I don't even know why I even responded to that.
Yeah. Easy Money, man.
Easy Money don't come on panels no more. He decided that he got tired of those whoopings, and so now he lives in the chat.
Yeah, he's a sugar bum and all the rest of them. That's what he is now.
Yeah, he's a part. He's a part of the women. He needs he needs feminine wipes now.
Yeah,
he wants to live in the chat. So since you want to live in the chat, get your feminine wipes and wipe it from the back. All right, now listen.
What's up, Ben? What's going on?
Yeah,
man, listen, Red Planet, man, welcome to the day. What you got to say? These other guys are here all the time, man. What you got to say on the topic, man?
It's true what y'all talking about. Basically, when we integrated more, it got into a thing like the white man's ice is colder, so now it's like we don't support as much as we could, and we aren't forced to support as much as we could,
So that's one part, but get back to the brothers in college. Do you think they're at fault, man, for going for the snow bunnies, or should they be forced? Should they be feeling obligated to get a black woman screaming and yelling at them in their ears and telling them, hey, man, you're stroking all the honeys and shit, you're cheating on me and all this other kind of stuff, or just go to a nice, peaceful snow bunny, rubbing the fur on the back of her ears and shit, and, she's getting you sandwiches and, What do you say? What say you, brother? What say you?
Just like they tell brothers, we got to compete. They got to compete. They want a guy that's a D1 athlete. He's gonna make millions in the league, possibly. They got to compete for that guy. I mean, they're gonna have to be pleasant. They're gonna have to be the type of aesthetic look that the guys are looking for. They're gonna have to be the full package. I mean, at the end of the day, a man's he's gonna want peace. Is that what they're bringing? That's basically, what are they bringing to the table?
No, I'm with you. So let's kind of look at, and the rest of you guys could chime in. Go ahead and chime in. BMU, what do you say, man?
On behalf of the Balance of America organization, I want to say something here. I'm so pissed off at these people in the chat today because 35% of them have pushed the football season back 10 years with all this goalposts moving. And I also wanted to say, listen, black men for years have sat back and watched white women like Ricky Lake. We've seen all the talk show hosts. We've heard the music dragging men. And now all of a sudden, men have woken the fuck up. And now they understand I do not have to invest my time into an investment that will go belly up 3 years into the relationship. So I don't know what company in the world today would invest in a company that they know will go belly up within the first 3 years. My thing is this: if you look at the divorce rates, let me talk to you. Easy Money was in there talking about black men are the most divorced. No. They're the most divorced simply because 90% of those divorces are filed by, come on, finish the sentence. They're filed by the women who don't want to, women who did not want to invest into their men. Women did not want to build with their men. Women that did not want to be with their men. Women that felt like, I've had enough of this penis, I need something different. Women who said, I've had enough, I'm out. But then guess what happens? I want you to go look at the interracial. See, Easy Money be talking, but he barking, but he ain't biting. So let me bite. Easy Money, I dare you, double dare you, triple dare you to go look at the divorce rate when it comes to a black male and a white female or any other ethnicity that you want to choose that's with a black man. Our black women have thrown us away for 3 decades, 4 decades. We can go back further than that, but I just want to stay relevant. 4 decades and threw us away. TV shows, talk shows, all this other stuff. Men that woke up, these white women say, oh, I would love to have some of that pain. Oh my God.
Yeah, especially with the beard and shit. Oh yeah, no, God damn.
Can you imagine putting your vagina saliva on that beard? Listen,
that's funny.
What's happening is the white women have decided listen, Anissa, I wish she was here tonight. Anissa said it best. They're easier to talk to. They're easier to have a conversation with. They're just easier. When they get their money, they don't have Gucci. They don't go buy a Louis Vuitton purse and go rent a Bentley for the weekend and act like they the shit. They get their money. Let me tell you how these white women work. They get their money, and you on hard times, you ain't got to say nothing. And women, our black women always talk about, we got a black woman's intuition. Well, what the fuck is that? Because 80% of you motherfuckers are single mamas. Your intuition, does it turn off when you getting dick? But that's neither here nor there. Intuition, when it comes to intuition, white women have it. It's a big thing with white women. You know why? Because a white woman can see you, and I mean not visually, but she can see you. And what I mean by that is, you can come in the house. Let me act this out. You come in the house, honey. Is everything okay? You're not yourself today. I don't feel like fucking talking about it. I had a bad day. Just leave me alone. Oh, baby, there's something deeper. Come here. Is there anything I can do to make your day better? Want to go out and have dinner? Would you like me to cook you dinner? Now, reverse. Now, let's do it if it was a black woman. I don't feel like fucking talking. I don't know who the fuck you raising your voice at, but I don't know. You better go back out that fucking door and start over. I don't know who the fuck. My motherfucking daddy dead.
Throw in about 5 boys also.
Raise your hand on the panel. Raise your hand on the panel.
Hold on, BMU, hold on. Add 5 boys in the background. Black woman with 5 kids. Do that part.
Huh?
Yeah, man, that's all
A
right.
black woman with 5 kids, do that part.
Oh yeah. Oh, first of all, I don't give a fuck about your date. What you need to do is come here and take care of your 5 fucking kids and crying all motherfucking day, right? But what's gonna happen with the white lady come in? Oh my God, just baby, listen. I understand something's wrong. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. Give me just to get the kids together. Johnny, Billy, Abraham, and Margaret, get your jacket. You're going to your aunt's for the night. Honey, take the time all you need. Go in, take a shower. And when I get back, just be ready to talk, okay? Do you need me to stop by the store getting? This is what I'm talking. But let it be the black one. No, get your fucking kids. Your son got in a fight today. Your daughter smart mouth. I don't give a fuck about your feelings. You a grown ass motherfucking man. Get over it. Somebody,
let's welcome Ray to the panel. Hey Ray, man, you doing better, man? What's up, man?
Somebody tell me
I'm still laid up, bro. I'm just listening to these stories, and I'm like, I think I'm. Does anyone on this panel actually date any white people? Like, Jesus, it is not that
Ray, don't make me go in my bag, Ray. Listen, Ray, I'm trying to keep stuff out of my shit because I'm marinated. But listen, don't make me go back in my bag. I'm telling you, boy. The best experiences I've been.
So Ray wants to give us some information. Go ahead, Ray. It ain't all euphoria.
Well, no. I'm with BMU, but I'm like, how did you end up where you're at? Because like obviously you wouldn't, if you had a better experience, you wouldn't have married something that was subpar.
You know what? You know what? I was with a black girl. We broke up. Let me tell you what I did. It was my dumb, stupid ass. We broke up. I met this white girl. She was sexy, well-spoken, long, pretty hair, blue eyes. When you fuck her, you just look in her eyes. It take you to the fifth dimension. Right? Let me tell you what happened. But the girlfriend came back. And at that time, I was a simp like Easy Money. The girlfriend came back. And she said, babe, I think we should still be together. I think we should be together. You know, I know we went through some shit. Here go my dumb ass.
Goodness.
You know what? You right, baby. I go tell the white girl. They were telling her. I said, baby, I gotta talk to you. I said, listen, me and my ex, she want to work things out. Guess what she said? I understand. I knew that a part of you was still with her. And so,
dang, she didn't key your car or nothing?
She said, what? She said, I'll always love you. And if you ever need me, you can always reach out to me. And that was it. Then reverse. I know motherfucking well you ain't talking to another bitch. Get your ass cut today. Oh, this bitch, give me go Facebook Live on this bitch.
He said he gonna get cut, not the cut, bro.
All right, so before we go any further, I mean, Ray, you got anything on the topic of the brothers with the sisters in college? Because I want to show the next clip. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, I just think it's generationally, and like obviously, I'm an OG now. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting old man injuries and shit, but the younger generation, like even in my generation, like I've always just dated whoever was there. It wasn't like I specifically went and sought out those women. It's just like, hey, like that's who messes with you. Like I've dated Latin chicks, I've dated white chicks, I've dated chicks that aren't from America. Like it's just who's there. It's who's around that's value set wise that are in those same spaces. And to be honest, normally there's not black women, but when they are, they're also dating out. And like it's not a big deal. Like we're not looking at each other cross-eyed. It's just like, hey, this is who it is. But the younger generation, there's none of that. Because like I was a weirdo growing up because I was able to date out. And like the cats younger than me, no one gives a shit anymore. Like no one even cares. Like they hear the conversations that we're having and they're just like, y'all are just stupid. Like that's dumb. Like why would you do that? Like because there's no barriers for them. There's not like, hey, you can't bring this specific type of person home. Like it's not even upsetting to the parents anymore. Like it's not like they're even doing it to be upset. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not an act of rebellion. It's just people have been doing it. Most people's families have a mixed person within it. So those kids growing up in that environment, they don't think about it at all.
Right. I agree with that. I mean, so you're right. Like I said, it's a lot of this interracial shit is really just inevitable, man. We're living on top of each other now. It's hard to live in just enclaves, even though in Baton Rouge, the white part of town just got a court order to separate from the rest of you blackies down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So they're going to take all that tax money. They're going to move it into a corner of the city, and the rest of Baton Rouge is going to just rot. Right? It's just going to rot.
Do you really think it's? I don't think he's being accurate. I don't think the rich any other culture is going to live in the part of Baton Rouge that they're moving away from. If it's gotten that bad, all the money's leaving. It's not just go. There ain't gonna be no rich black people in Baton Rouge. They're gonna be over there with the white people. Congratulations, you played yourselves. That's what happens when you vote for policies that harm your community.
Right.
At a certain point, the people who don't need the free shit are going to remove themselves from you because you are cancer to them. Because the policies that you're instilling and voting for and advocating for are harming you and by proxy them. It's just they can see it because they're not poor.
I hear you.
R-Pain,
Go ahead, BMU. What's up?
You being too nice today.
What you say?
I agree with you 100% on this whole show. You being too fucking nice. And I need you to get out here tonight. We ain't here to please nobody. We here to tell people the fucking truth. All right. So
okay, well, I'm gonna let my man speak, and then we could go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on your ass tonight. Pause.
All these black college athletes that are getting drafted having white women. What's going on? I am going to tell you, as someone that is friends with a lot of D1 football players and D1 basketball players, I'm going to tell you because they have told me. Whoa. Before I get into this, I want to make it clear I'm only into black women. I'm just telling you what they have told me. My man said, bro, how many white women have you seen do the Meg Thee Stallion challenge? And he said, excluding the ones that think they're 2 shades away from being Lotto. I said, probably only one. He said, okay. Y'all, 5 of my guys that play on Division I Power 5 football teams, and they were like, Goody, you know the type of NIL deals we got. One of my men said, bro, I was messing with this black girl. She heard about the deal I got and started to request money, Apple Pays and Cash Apps, for her hair and nails. I said, oh shit. My other friends were saying, bro, I would try to take her out to Chipotle, Kava, this and this and that. She would get mad talking about, why are we going to steakhouses? You're good for it. I said, oh shit. They were like, bro, the white women, they're down to go and get a cup of coffee, go and get some fucking ice cream. My friends were like, bro, go. We're making some meat. But while we're at practice or we're at camp, they got us our favorite Cabo Bowl, double chicken, right? Waiting for them to come out of practice. My friends were telling me these girls are getting their group projects done, getting their essays done, online tests done on time. I said, wait, what? I said, bro, what about maintenance? There's no way y'all not paying for her hair, nails, bags, her lifestyle. He said, bro, first of all, my girl will get her own Starbucks and even get me one. But if I want to be nice, I'll get her something, from Starbucks. And they were like, hair and nails. They don't even care about the nails, really, And if they do it themselves. Sometimes I pitch in. And I was like, all right, what about hair? They were like, bro, she's white. She just brushes it. We're flat irons it. She wants to be special. Jesus Christ, she's saving a lot of money. One of my men said this. He just got drafted. He said, bro, I was dating a black girl. Now I'm dating a white girl. I'm about to marry her. He said, the difference between the black girl and the white girl, the biggest difference is the white girl knows when to shut the fuck up. I said, God damn. This is what they told me. Do with the information as you please. If it takes me 10 to 15 years to find a black woman that's compatible with me, that's what I'm going to do. But this is what they told me. So stop being surprised.
There you go. There you go.
Hallelujah, somebody. I told you.
Gonna walk the earth with his head down, waiting to get chose.
Look at Easy Money. Here come Easy Money, old dirty head. Look at
there that motherfucker go. Listen, there you go, Easy Money.
She just put in his chat. She said he lying. They have tutors in their own campus. He said ain't no black women in college requesting hair and nail money. You a shit.
I went to college. How you gonna tell me? I was there.
You went to college.
Easy money forever stepping, bro.
Hold on. BMU, hold on. Are you saying Chicky Banter and Jeremiah are liars now?
Oh,
if they said otherwise, yes, they're lying too.
So Easy
Money. They're in college. What are you talking about?
Chicky Banter is 35 years old. He is not living no college experience.
He was in college after you.
Hold on, guys. I want to ask you a question. Easy Money. When you were in school, was there Cash App?
No, we were just getting PayPal.
You do understand that I can send you a $50 request right now just as a gift. Hey, request 50, right? So now that these NIL deals have gone through and these young men that's playing offensive lineman, wide receiver, quarterback are making $100,000, $200,000, $12 million, like Deion Sanders is making $12 million a year now in college, right? That girl's going to be with him. Guess what she's going to do? She's going to go sit down in the beauty salon chair. They're going to take $500. She's going to send a $500 request to her boyfriend who's getting NIL money and say, baby, I'm getting my hair done. Can you go ahead and send that $500 over in cash out?
No, she's not. Because when you're in college, the majority of the time you're spending your time in class, and you're not dressing up to go to class.
Bro, Easy Money, actually, Easy, I love you so much because you actually
what are
went to
we
class,
talking
bro.
about?
Okay.
Easy Money. So why the white girls? Hold on, it's white girls in nursing school. They at every football game, after every practice, they giving their boyfriend some food. They going out to eat, going to movies.
No, they're not, guys. I went to a D1 a top flight D1 school.
I got a question for you, Easy Money. Let's get back to the subject.
Stay off the weed.
Do you think anything's wrong or with the fact that the brothers from the NBA and the NFL have snow bunnies on their arm?
It's not really a thing of right and wrong. It's a thing of proximity, and I think that's what people don't understand. Like, these guys aren't coming from the slums. They're not coming from the west side of Chicago like Isaiah Thomas was 40 years ago. These kids, these young men, when they're coming out of these programs, they're coming out of the suburbs. They're coming out of lower middle class, upper middle class surroundings. And since America is so segregated, the majority of the women that they are around are going to be white women. Therefore, it's not shocking when these guys are going to college and they're seeking out white women because that's what they have proximity to. Like that.
Okay, before you go further, okay. Are you sure they're seeking out the white women or are the white women seeking them out?
No, they're seeking them out. The black guys are seeking out the white women because that's what they've grown accustomed to.
Hold on now. For you guys to sit down and talk, I can buy some of the fact that these guys are from upper class neighborhoods, but listen, a lot of them still live around enough black people that they know the difference. So let's not go there.
No, they don't.
Let me finish. And then the proximity issue, right? You're trying to transfer that from those neighborhoods to inside a university, right? In the 70s, back in the dinosaur days, we had no shortage of black women in the PWIs where I was at. So, and that was even before the women were the most enrolled. So there's black women all over these goddamn.
What do you mean by shortage, Arpain? What does that mean?
Well, because that means that their sisters, if they were competing for those guys, they would be able to fucking compete for those.
But you see, your definition of shortage doesn't match the reality of the numbers that we're seeing. So if you go to Ohio State, if you go to Ohio State, you go to Michigan, you go to these schools with 40,000 students, chances are there's going to be less than 1,000 black people in that college.
Wait a minute.
Out of 40,000, you'll be lucky